One thing I've been working on for some years was to try and get Ross Brawn to bring his fabulous Grand Prix car here, which won the World Championship with Jensen in 2009. The car was laid up and obviously had never been used since. And brilliantly in 2016, Ross decided he'd bring the car.
When the opportunity arose to bring the Brawn GP car to the Festival of Speed, I must admit it was a very special moment. I think we hadn't run the car since the end of the season in any form. And I'd acquired the car when I left and wondered what I was going to do with it. And that was the first opportunity to take it out and show the world again. And for me, it was a very special car. In terms of choosing a driver for that event, there wasn't, I mean, Jensen would have obviously been a very special driver. He was driving for McLaren at the time, and I think both the time constraints and contractual issues, it was a little bit difficult. And Martin was my immediate choice. And I asked him if he'd do it, and he said yes, so that was the end of it. And I think I paid him with a case of wine.
It was a very easy answer. And the next thing is I'm having a seat fitting in a workshop very close to Silverstone Circuit. So a great privilege, slightly uncomfortable because Jensen was also there at Goodwood that year and parked up alongside me in the assembly area, looking very jealously at me. And I felt uncomfortable because I felt I was sort of cuckooing his car. He clearly wanted to drive it but couldn't.
There was a great moment at the top where Martin and Jensen met up, and Jensen said he should climb back in the car. And it was a nice, touching moment. And to have the car here, obviously for the first time, seen again, was another Goodwood first, and just the kind of thing we aspire to be doing.
Well, it's a very iconic car, of course, with a very easily recognisable colour scheme from that amazing year for Brawn when they were using a stepping stone, really, wasn't it? From the demise of Honda to the beginning of using the Mercedes-Benz engine, then the team became Mercedes-Benz anyway. So a lot of people wanted to see it, enjoyed seeing the car, and they remember the year. They remember Jensen, of course, taking the World Championship, and so it was a great privilege, great honour to be the one chosen to take it up and down the hill.
But I know when I arrived, I was trying to get to find out where the car was, and I saw this huge crowd around one of the marquees and realised that was for us. The fans were there, and I had to fight my way through to get into the marquee to see the car. Whenever Martin and I went out into that area, the response from the fans was very special, and we could have signed autographs all day. I think the public's imagination was captured because of the fairy story that was Brawn GP, and I think from the ashes rose a phoenix, which was a team that went on to win the World Championships, and the only team in the history of Formula One with a 100% record. I think it was the despair when the team was being closed, and the fact that was all very public, and the fact we managed to keep it alive, and then even more than that, we went on to win the World Championships.
And they explained to me, and it had a lot of Mercedes engineers working on a different group each day, actually, because I think they all wanted to come along and be part of running that car again. The car looked exquisite. It just was so beautifully put together and finished. But it was explained to me when I first got in it, there is absolutely one of everything available for that car. So if burnouts are out of the question, or donuts or anything like that, I had to treat it with great respect on the 6 runs that I was going to do with the car. over the weekend. And that included even going down to the bottom of the hill where you have to spin them around ready to take the start, to queue up there at the start. I was doing, 3-point turns with the help of the marshals, and some of the fans that like to get down there were like, goading me to spin it around. And I'm thinking, if only you knew what I know, I can't do this. So I was 3-point turning it and just treating it with like a road car that was brand new, that I didn't want to take any energy out of. I think the last run was my favourite. The track starts getting a little bit muddy here and there as people get cheeky on the, against the grass, or running a bit wide, or they're stunt driving or whatever. And it gets very bumpy towards the top of the hill. So an F1 car that's not especially set up and with a raised ride height, for example, can start moving around quite a lot. So you have to, and hitting the ground quite hard towards the end of the climb. You just get a bit more confident and understand it, believe that the brakes will actually work from cold and that the tyres will grip, and just start letting the car go a little bit.
But as I say, I think the car and the story and the whole thing captured the fans' imagination, and I think Martin driving it was very special as well. He's extremely popular. It was a real honour for me to have been part of it. Just to revisit it a little bit on that day in Goodwood was very special.